Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is TBR Schmitt. This is my wife Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are watching episodes 9 and 10 of season 3 of Better Call Saul. What'd you think of the season 3 so far?
Incredible. Such a great season, as always. I mean, we go into great length at the end of every episode, so I don't want to touch on the entirety of the season, but there's so many moving parts with these characters and their relationships, bringing back some characters from Breaking Bad. Just so much about this show is just like top tier writing.
Top tier. I think the most impressive thing is that we have so many characters and every storyline is interesting. Yeah, sure. Maybe I would want to hang around one storyline more, but it's not because the others are not spectacular. It's just because
you can't wait.
Yeah, I just can't wait. And I just get so invested in every storyline that I'm like, no, don't drop it. So that's incredible because like you said, there are so many moving pieces and it doesn't even feel like we're coming to the end of season 3. I feel like because we are watching it all like in bulk, you know, like we don't have that waiting period between seasons and stuff, that it kind of starts to all blend together. But I need to realize like we're coming towards the end of season 3, like we might have some crazy 2 episodes to finish off the season and to set up what's to come.
100%. I think that they are gonna go hard. I don't know what that means, like how, you know, quickly are the things gonna happen with Chuck potentially.
Yeah.
Or how quick are we gonna fly through this year off for Jimmy?
Right.
So we don't know like timelines. So because we still have 3 seasons left, it's like, okay, is this gonna make it to the next season, or are we gonna close out some things this season?
Yeah, just some massive time jumps or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to get into these episodes.
Yeah, me too.
So if you'd like to see the full-length reaction for this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you'd like to interact with us on our Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, let's get into the episodes. Ooh. Sandpiper.
Why did I like completely forget about the Sandpiper storyline?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I was in the area. I wonder how my favorite former client is doing. And I have cookies.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Homemade.
I was afraid you wouldn't be here.
What do you mean?
The Sandpiper case.
That's still years away.
Received an offer, right? I mean, something more than just Aaron and you chatting.
What's he digging for?
I wonder if he just genuinely wants to know if...
How it's going?
Yeah.
I can't blame you for getting mixed up with all this. Sometimes I can't even...
Is this good or bad? Oh, you know what? He needs money. Duh.
Aaron says we should wait.
You alone decide. You are the legal stand-in for your friends and neighbors.
If they settle, he gets paid out.
You think?
Yeah, he gets like 20% of like, and he desperately needs money.
I don't know why I thought maybe that went away after he got suspended, but...
No.
You really should talk to Erin. She knows all the ins and outs.
Legally cannot.
I'm on my way to chair yoga. I'm so
Chair
sorry.
yoga?
I probably should be going. I have a lot to do.
I forgot about the payout.
Yeah, it's just a...
Do you want to come with us?
You're welcome to. We can have guests.
I'll take a rain check.
Certainly. Thanks for the cookies, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Oh, they're so nice.
They're so nice. He just wants money though.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a lot of money
Yes.
and they're still not taking it.
Yeah.
17.4 total.
Million?
1,160,000.
$1 million is what he would get paid out? He's got $1 million payday coming in the future.
Well,
He either
I mean,
wants...
if Aaron has anything to do about it, he doesn't for a while. I wonder what they're waiting on.
It seems like a bit pretty... Well, yeah, 17.4 million. I think what? Chuck was like 20 million or something like that. So they're pretty close to that.
I know.
Mr. Ermentrout?
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you waiting. He'll be right this way.
Where are we?
No idea. Oh, it's Gus is trying to arrange something for...
Oh, the family.
Yeah, for money. Oh. Is that... What's her name?
Lydia. First meeting.
How do we clean $250,000?
HR sent up your start paperwork. I-9, W-2, pretty standard. Could I have your driver's license and social security card?
They're hiring him?
How does this hire work exactly?
You'll receive a paycheck from Madrigal in the amount of $10,000 per week.
A week?
I have you down as a logistics consultant.
Security consultant would be better. I used to be a cop.
I oversee 8 freight terminals across Texas, range between $800,000 and $1 million per week.
Damn.
This the way you handled it before?
Handled what?
The money for Frank's other guys.
This is the first time I've done this. I don't know what you do, but Mr. Frank must think you're quite good at it.
Damn. Special treatment. Yeah, hand over that driver's license.
20 weeks.
The sooner you're off my books, the better.
Seem to be risking a lot for a drug dealer.
If that's all you think he is, then you don't know Gustavo Frank.
He's an empire.
You're proposing to double our premiums on every one of our practicing attorneys.
That is insane.
I can count on one hand the number of our claims.
This is an underwriting decision, that's all.
We have been known to extend a rider.
Supervise Charles' work, attend court and client meetings with him.
What? Supervision?
You're hoping we'll either find another carrier or cut you an enormous check. You're going to do right by us, or we will compel you to do so.
Oh.
If you're threatening litigation, I'm afraid this meeting is over.
Then it's over.
Damn.
Look at Howard.
Power Chuck is back. All these lights on.
Let's pull a
Howard
team of
needs a
associates
drink.
and get them looking at every angle. We've never shied away from a fight.
I think you're about to.
Chuck, do you remember Al McConnell?
Retired now, isn't he?
He's a professor at UNM now.
Should you retire?
He'd love you to come speak to his 1Ls. Maybe make it a regular thing, if you wanted. Maybe it's time to hang up your spurs. Leave your name on the firm, but focus on your legacy.
And no longer be a practicing lawyer.
Yeah.
That day is far in the future, Howard, and I don't appreciate the suggestion.
What if it's not a suggestion?
Oh.
It's not just the insurance. That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
So this is about my condition. Look!
Yeah, I mean, he's doing much better.
I'm better! Howard, I'm fine!
This is not what fine looks like.
Oh,
Chuck,
my
you are the
gosh.
best legal mind I've ever known, hands down. I can't be partners with someone whose judgment I don't trust.
Holy shit.
Getting kicked out. There are so many things I thought could come to this moment. That insurance.
No, I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal.
I thought it would hurt Chuck's wallet a little bit.
Now I've got 2 states coming after me for taxes on each and every gallon. You said on the phone you have a solution.
You offer to pay them damages. Then you don't get hit with the taxes.
I wish I'd called you sooner. If I don't get this thing wrapped up by the end of the quarter, the tax boy's gonna take me apart.
And that's 2 weeks from now.
Damn.
I can do it by then. So I can walk them through what we're proposing. If they're smart, they'll go for it.
2 weeks?
Billy Gatwood meeting. Notes. Contact Gatwood Oil.
No, don't be stuck. Stop. Yeah, there you go. Throw some wood underneath.
Nice.
Nice, Kim. Oh, not nice. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Oh my God. Kim needs a vacation.
She needs a break for sure. I was so stressed in that. Like, I thought she was just going to get stuck or she wouldn't have cell service.
Right.
Or when they were showing the wood, I thought there would be like a snake underneath or something.
What is Jimmy doing here?
Howard.
He's going to want them to settle that.
Sandpiper.
What about it?
It's time to settle.
We project a final number far higher than the current offer.
You're screwing the clients for your own benefit.
All you care about is your share of the payout.
Yeah.
You're transparent and pathetic.
Damn, Howard.
You want a handout? Here.
Oh, Howard is on what he's going to take it. Oh.
Next time, why don't you bring a tin cup and be more honest?
Fuck. What got into Howard?
You'll get your damn money. You're just gonna have to wait for it.
Oh my God, Howard.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
He's over it. He's over all this fighting.
Yeah, get these fucking McGill boys away from me. Ooh. No way. Gus got it. Is this gonna hurt your heart here, Hector?
Yo nunca pedí esto. No lo quiero.
I never asked for this. Yeah, you made me.
Oh.
This is the moment. Nacho,
Is Gus gonna get the blame for this?
No.
Just being there?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's just a placebo effect for right now. Maybe it's gonna take more than one episode.
Maybe.
Like, not
Yeah.
TV episode.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Man, Gus's plan worked to perfection. Are we slipping? Freshly polished floor? Oh no.
Oh, he's just meeting up.
He's gonna try to convince them all to fucking take the money.
Fancy running into you twice in 1 week.
You're a mall walker? I had no idea.
Mall walker?
These have special gel, walking on pillows.
Well, they look comfortable.
I bought a pair for my girlfriend and they don't fit her. What size are you?
Oh my god, Jimmy. The lengths he's going.
Oh my god, look how many pairs.
He had to be sure he had the right one.
They are so nice and they fit like a dream.
Don't tell the other folks I gave them to you. I don't want to look like I'm playing favorites.
Okay, planting seeds.
If Irene settles, you'd get some money. Not like you guys need it, right? You get a look at their offer. It's,
Is he like making cracks between them?
I think so.
Maybe Irene just doesn't need the money. When you see someone buying nice new things.
Like those shoes.
Oh my god, this is so dirty.
If Irene holds out, lawyers get this much more. You are gonna get this much more. It's all up to Irene. After all, she is the class representative.
Oh my god.
You can't do anything. Only Irene.
That's crazy.
I'm sure she's taking your feelings into account. Who needs money when you got the moral high ground?
What the fuck?
He's gonna destroy this old lady's life. No way. They're just power walking away from her.
That's so sad.
Man, Jimmy. Done a lot of messed up stuff, but destroying an old lady's final years so that she's just a total outcast, just manipulate everyone to hate her so that she does something to get their approval back.
¿Estás bien, mijo? Un hombre va a venir a tu taller muy pronto. Él va a querer dirigir el lugar y tienes que permitírselo. ¿Y quién es este hombre? Héctor Salamanca. He estado trabajando para ellos de nuevo.
Again? Did he get out before?
¿Cómo puedo creer lo que me dices? Prométeme que no harás nada estúpido. Por favor. Vete de mi casa.
I mean, he's like working on it, but he's out of time.
Yeah. And Hector's going to be more desperate than ever.
From Chuck. The instructions say he wants you to read it as soon as possible.
Here's what I need you to do. Find someplace special for the retirement party.
You want to open it first?
Yeah.
Let's set it up.
Read this first. They're going to just say, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
God damn it, Chuck. You're suing Hamlin McGill.
What?
Come on in, Howard.
For what?
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
I'm calling your bluff. You're gonna have to pay me for my share. You think I'm trouble now? As your partner? Imagine me as your enemy.
Oh my god. What the jeez, these McGill boys are crazy this episode.
If you'd like to discuss this further, we can in court. Until then, what else is there to say?
I mean, how much is it going to cost for this malpractice? Like, could it be in the millions too? You know?
It's just, everything sucks. Like, oh, you're better?
It's all for show. He's cheating at bingo?
Yes. He's gonna make...
He's literally destroying this woman.
He's gonna make her win.
Yeah. Again and again and again. She's gonna keep winning.
She's got new shoes. She's winning bingo.
Have we got it? We have a bingo! Paul!
How does he have control over, like, what card she has? You know, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, new game, new cards. Here they come. Get yourself some new cards. Hey, Irene, you feeling lucky today? All right, well, here's one on
There's
me.
the special one. I can't believe we rigged a bingo game.
How sad she already is.
It's N31. N for Nancy.
Look at that. She got one.
G48. I-25.
Oh,
It's B12.
5 in a row.
Like the vitamin. O67.
She already get it?
I think bingo!
Irene? Irene, come on up here, dear.
Oh, Irene. No one's
Here she
happy.
comes. Give it up for the big winner, Irene Landry. Come on, let's hear it for Irene.
This sucks.
Don't do that. Mascara's gonna run all over.
Oh, so nice, Jimmy.
They've all turned on me.
What? No.
It's so cruel.
Yeah,
and I
evil.
don't even know why.
Could it be the settlement? Maybe they want the money?
I didn't know. I don't want to hurt them. They're my friends. What would you do?
What would Jimmy do?
Should I settle?
Irene, you listen to your heart.
Your broken heart. Kim's grinding and working so hard, and Jimmy's out here destroying old people's lives.
Who's ready to have her life changed? Kim, did you hear me? Stop your work, both of you.
She's gonna blow up.
Yep.
Just tell us later, Jimmy. I'm so late, it's not even funny.
Mesa Verde can wait. Look,
It's not Mesa Verde.
Sandpiper is settling.
They can't be settling. Class actions don't move that fast.
Don't get bogged down in the details.
Well, that's great then.
I'm sure that's probably a little bit of a relief for Kim.
Yeah, but she still needs to do this.
Yeah.
This is the solution to everything.
Okay, Frances.
No, Kim's is the solution.
I'll be back in a few hours. Think of all the things you want to say to me and just say them to me later, okay?
We believe this offer is more than fair. We believe.
Just get there safely at this point with how this episode's going.
You know, I don't like this shot. This shot.
Ooh, she fell asleep.
Oh my god.
Oh, her face. What she hit? Holy crap. That was brutal.
I'm shook.
That
I'm
episode
shook.
was crazy. My opinion of so many things has been changed so much. Oh, is this Jimmy reading the story? No, Chuck reading the story to Jimmy.
What's that? Is he gonna be okay?
Should be fine, Jimmy. Just listen. You'll see.
Jeez.
It's always that sound.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy could have offered to help or drive her. But no, shots.
I know. Does she need to spend the night?
Once this is done, she'll be discharged.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Howard's pushing through.
There's no reason we can't put all this unpleasantness behind us. And if you agree, I think we can settle all this right now with a simple handshake.
Would you all give us the room for a moment?
Oh. Howard's just taking body blows, especially with Sandpiper also. That's extra money HHM could have definitely used to pay out Chuck that they're no longer going to have.
I always thought you had the best interest of the firm in mind.
I have.
You did. You've put your needs first, to our detriment. Maybe it's time for you to consider retirement. The first instinct you have is to sue me? In what world is that anything but the deepest betrayal of everything we worked so hard to accomplish?
Chuck's treating Howard like Jimmy.
Just take this.
$3 million.
The first of 3 payments as per the partnership agreement.
You're not shutting down, are you?
I would never endanger the firm. This is mostly from my personal funds.
Whoa. I'm personally paying to get
You're paying me out of your own pocket.
Look what you've done, Chuck.
You won.
Brutal.
There's one last thing.
Are we taking his name off?
We're probably announcing it.
Oh, is this the retirement party? Man, Howard called Chuck's bluff.
I have some bittersweet news to share. Charles McGill will be leaving HHM, effective immediately. We will be forever grateful for his dedication. Do you have anything you want to say?
Oh my God. This is insane. What are these 2 episodes? Is he even gonna make it out the door?
Oh.
Just the exit with the clapping. Oh my God. I'm so Team Howard all of a sudden.
Me too.
Like, I want Howard to get some get back on Jimmy now. What happened with her oil case?
I feel like that could go either way. They could understand.
This is twisted.
Oh, thanks. This one-handed crap is gonna get real old real fast.
It's her right, too.
Yeah.
Ibuprofen or the proverbial good stuff?
The answer is always the good stuff.
All right, but food first.
Oh.
Cut up her sausage for her.
You're not feeding me, Jimmy. There are lines we do not cross.
I was looking into our lease on the office. We are allowed to sublet. Might be our best option. Haven't figured out Francesca yet.
What about the Sandpiper payday?
I mean, even with the Sandpiper money?
I don't give a shit about the office.
Maybe he's genuinely worried about her.
No, I think he is.
I feel like I can't trust anything anymore.
Unfortunately, it just took this catastrophe to snap Jimmy out of his shitty behavior. It won't last, but it's lasting for right now.
I could have killed someone, Jimmy. I crossed 3 lanes of traffic and I don't remember any of it.
You were just doing what you thought you had to do because of me.
You didn't make me get in that car. That was all me.
No.
I'm an adult. I made a choice.
I'm shocked that there's no resentment on Kim's side right now.
Yeah, and Kim taking ownership and responsibility for like that decision so easily could throw that on Jimmy.
Gonna fix things.
Is Jimmy gonna take a page out of Kim's book and take some responsibility and accountability?
Like, what does Jimmy have to do to push Kim away? Because we don't see Kim, so I'm assuming she does not exist. But he's done so much already, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be that straw?
I don't know if there will be one.
We can break down the stuff in here. Space in the back for storing scales and,
Where's Papi?
I'd be taking care of all this, but he's good. Make sure
Oh.
Here's Papi.
He has to do it, huh?
Yep. And I don't know what Poppy's gonna do.
Relájate. Somos amigos.
Money doesn't buy friends. Not real ones.
Mejor.
I don't think he wants that.
Por favor, váyase de mi taller.
Papá, no seas irrespetuoso. Piensa en tía Rosa y las gemelas. Por favor.
Can't stop looking at this bell.
I'll talk to him. He'll come around.
I don't trust him.
Great.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Get him out and take over.
Mr. Gatwood, the card wasn't clear, but I'm pretty sure you're getting steaks, too. He wishes you a speedy recovery.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You are so lucky. People die on that road all the time. Everyone's fine doing that meeting Monday, so...
Did you bring a breakdown of the documents I'll need for next Wednesday? I would have to figure out.
Yep.
What's going on? You zoning
You
out?
okay? I can always come back.
I'm gonna need you to cancel, Gatwood.
Okay.
But first, could you give me a ride?
And again, she is very sorry, and I know she'll be giving you a call herself soon.
What are we doing?
She's taking a break.
Okay, how many do I have?
9?
Good.
Man, the glory days of Blockbuster. Is this Howard's place?
I don't know.
I don't think this is Chuck's neighborhood.
Honestly, I feel like that looks like Jesse Pinkman's house.
Oh, okay. Definitely Chuck's house.
It does look different.
I just want to know you're okay. Come on, Chuck. I just want to see your face.
So he heard?
Probably.
Or Howard called him?
I'm all right, Jimmy.
Oh, hey, can I come in? Just talk for a minute?
It doesn't look bright.
The washer and dryer, laundry's been done.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, music's on. No, lights are on.
Yeah.
Okay. Fully stocked fridge.
As you can see, I'm more than all right. I'm very well, in fact.
Such a nice house.
I always told you I'd get better. You just never believed me.
Sure I did.
If he didn't believe you, he would have committed you years ago.
What was it you wanted? Beyond proof of life?
If I had to do it all over again, I would maybe do some things differently. I just thought you should know that.
That you have regrets.
Yeah, I was like, it's not an apology.
I don't know if he owes Chuck an apology. The insurance thing was a step too far.
Why have regrets at all? What's the point? You're just going to keep hurting people?
That's not true.
Jimmy, this is what you do. You're going to hurt everyone around you. So stop apologizing and accept it. Embrace it.
Jeez.
You don't have to make up with me. Things are fine the way they are. I don't want to hurt your feelings. But the truth is, you've never mattered all that much to me.
Oh, that's mega hurt the feelings. And that's been like the main problem. That was devastating. What's our pain level? I didn't get a good look at it.
The last time he clocked in, it just said irritated.
That's not good. Regressing. A visit from Jimmy and we regress.
Well, when we win, we celebrate. Now, have you given any thought to how you want to spend that settlement money?
All her friends still hate her.
I bet you and the ladies could split a deluxe suite.
I don't think they'd really want to. They're still upset.
They're not going to magically be okay with it.
You can't let one little misunderstanding destroy years of friendship.
She showed her true colors.
True colors.
Where is her integrity?
Oof.
It's going to be very hard to convince these ladies at this point.
Look, if you want to blame someone, you should blame me.
Jimmy, you're a good friend.
Oof.
She doesn't deserve you.
There's just so much happening in these two episodes. It's insane. The development of all of these characters.
I've shut off all the breakers. The power meter is still turning. I want you to send someone over to find it and disconnect it. Wednesday. Are you sure there's nothing sooner?
Fully regressed.
Yeah, he made so much progress for it to get destroyed so quickly.
He's going to tear this house apart looking for something.
Still going.
This is so sad.
Yeah. I feel like there was always something for him to at least like look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to HHM, fucking with Jimmy, something. But if he's put Jimmy to the side and he can't go back to HHM, there's just nothing. So what? He has a bunch of money and nothing to do?
3 o'clock with Dr. Cruz today? Would you tell her that something's come up and I'm not able to come in today?
Damn.
Yeah, it was like the phone's plugged in.
Yeah. What's doing it?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it just always does that.
I have no idea.
But I don't know. I guess he probably would have checked before.
I'm sure he would know. He's gonna start just tearing his walls. I mean, he had some stuff torn out before, but...
I think it was just the electrical panels.
Yeah, now I feel like it's gonna go even crazier. Jeez, just ripping his house apart, trying to find some electricity. Just dripping sweat. It's just like frantically ripping his house apart. Yeah, but what was that? It's still going. Oh! Wow. We have a gun. Are we not gonna wait around for these pills?
Where are we?
And there's no way this plan is carefully thought out.
Is this his dad's place?
I don't know. I thought this was maybe like the ice cream place. I mean, Nacho's just so desperate and out of time.
It's weird that Hector's alone, right?
Yeah.
You got my message?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. They're coming.
Ooh.
No idea. Gus, maybe?
There will be only one route over the border for our product, the chicken trucks. You have to work together. You should be kissing my ass right now.
I'm pretty worked up.
This isn't personal. It is! It is personal!
Oh, here we go. Oh no. Now there's bad pills all over the floor.
Call 911. Stash the guns. You should not be here when they arrive.
I need an ambulance.
No te mueros, cabrón.
Damn, Gus was the only one that did anything?
Get them all. Holy shit, Nacho. Do you have the good pills with you on hand? Hopefully he has them at all times.
Does he have a history of cardiac issues? And was he taking any medications?
He took these.
Did Nacho swap, and does Gus know?
Yeah, he wouldn't have given him back to, he wouldn't have given them to her, I feel like. Gus knows.
I think Gus knows. I think he caught on the first time. The first time they had a little blow up.
Right.
No luck with Miss Landry.
That bridge is burned. Ashes. The more I try to make them like her again, the more they end up loving me instead.
Does Kim know the full story then?
Mrs. Landry.
You figured it out?
Yeah, but I really, really don't want to do it.
In the back by herself.
Let's wake up those spines with cat-cow position.
Mr. McGill, I need to talk to you. Now, Mr. McGill.
Is this part of it?
You are unbelievable.
I don't know.
You filled her head and all of her friends' heads with lies. You took advantage of poor Mrs. Landry. Does she know how much money you're gonna make from this?
How much time I had to put in listening to their insipid ramblings.
No way.
You ruined her life because you wanted your money faster.
Who and who?
Oh my god.
She's got that much time left anyway.
Jimmy.
Damn. What a move to clean everything up.
Come on, girls.
At least the girls are back.
Shame on you.
Shame.
Had to be done.
It did, but does that... I'm sure if it really would have cost him the money or something, or like something legal, or the 12-month suspension and stuff.
No, I don't think that's gonna... Oh.
So?
Like a charm, yeah.
What?
She'll go back on the settlement.
You'll hear from her within an hour or so.
She was in on it.
Oh, to go back on the settlement?
I meant every word I said.
You know.
Yeah, still, good job. Wow.
So it is gonna cost him the money too.
Yes. He did the right thing.
Packed up the office.
You got the address?
Yep.
No, I don't want to see hopeful moments anymore because I know they're just going to get taken away from me.
I'm real sorry that this didn't work out. If we ever get another office up, you'd be our first call.
No, thank you.
Bye, Kim.
Bye.
No hug for Jimmy.
Yeah, we know she comes back.
Hey, why'd you do that?
No seniors come within 20 feet of me ever again. New business model when I get my license back.
New persona. I like the America Samoa Law School.
It's a good wall. We'll get another.
A better wall.
Let's go home.
Wow. And then back to this. Oh, everything's outside?
What are you doing?
Just freaking out. Oh no. Is he doing this on purpose, or can he just not control his body? There's insulation everywhere.
I know. This feels like an on purpose thing.
It has to be on purpose.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. No way. All right, that was episodes 9 and 10 of Better Call Saul. What'd you think?
What the hell?
Yeah, we'll just talk about episode 10.
I mean, I feel like it's even hard to talk about that without talking about everything that led there.
Okay, true. Chuck seemingly killed himself.
Yeah.
By burning his house down and being in it. Going all the way back to the start of episode 9, these were two crazy episodes. I feel like it did so much character development. so much of my changing perception on things. It was just huge, like insane.
Yeah, I think I've said this before on the show. Maybe I'm mixing up my shows, but I feel like those 2 episodes could have been a season.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could have taken the storylines from those 2 episodes and had 10 episodes just for them.
Yes. Yeah. That was absolutely insane. Okay, so I guess talking about just Chuck. We'll start with just Chuck in general.
Maybe it'll be easier to do the people instead of like
the stories.
The story.
Yeah, so Chuck, you know, I'm saying we, because I think you too, we're not anticipating this whole malpractice insurance being a catalyst for so much.
No, we talked at length about how like things are starting to bend. Howard is kind of over this, blah, blah, blah. But it did seem like Chuck was improving. And I definitely saw that insurance thing as just like a little F you.
Yes.
The fact that it turned into affecting every lawyer and this massive thing that was the straw that broke the camel's back. No, did not see that coming.
Absolutely not. You know, we've seen what effects like the things that Jimmy does have, but I don't think on this show we've seen anything that he's done to this level, unless I'm forgetting something. But I mean, it inevitably led to his brother's death.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, probably the worst thing.
Oh, yeah.
The worst small thing that he's done that, like, you know, snowballed. And I'm sure there's other things that potentially, like, we don't even see how they fully play out.
Yeah.
With all the gray areas. What is it? Colorful.
Right.
When he's colorful,
When
the
he's
things
colorful.
that happen. But yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I think what this show does well is there's so much cause and effect, and there's so much truth. Oftentimes, you can have 2 people on completely different sides. Both of them are speaking very clearly, and like what they're saying is true and factual, but you just have 2 completely different outcomes. So it's like this battle between Jimmy and Chuck. So much of what they've said has been true, but it's still a battle. And like the reality is, we're focusing just on Chuck right now. Chuck is an asshole, and he is an asshole to so many people in his life. You have this situation where he definitely thinks that he's superior to Howard. Obviously, he has more experience, and he thinks he built the firm with the dad and not Howard and stuff. So there's like legitimate reasons why Chuck could feel that way, but he thinks so little of Howard and thinks so highly of himself. We've never seen him really take any sort of criticism or take any sort of ability to view a situation negatively on his part. He cares very much about how he looks. So it's like, even though Howard's coming in speaking the truth about like, dude, you're kind of slipping, you are one of the best, but your judgment's lacking, you're not fully like healed and stuff, maybe, just maybe, it might be a good time to retire. Chuck doesn't take any of that, and he would rather sue and cripple and destroy HHM than not get his way. Like, he's such a person who needs to get his way all of the time that he would rather see everything burn than makes any sort of compromise. This situation where Howard and Chuck have this like standoff, and how that played out, and then just the next cause and effect of things, of how like this crippling situation brought Jimmy back into the fold just because Jimmy wants to check up on his brother. But then the cause and effect makes Chuck spiral to a point that we've never seen before, to his final point. So it really is just crazy how layered and structured every outcome is. There's so much that goes into every little detail to get us to this point that honestly it will take us hours to accurately talk through these episodes. We don't have that time, but it was insane to see the final outcome of Chuck.
Yeah, going back to the Howard and Chuck situation, I think that Howard was more than fair in allowing him to keep his name up there, still being essentially part of the company without practicing.
Right, I'm sure still getting paid handsomely.
Right, and Howard has always put Chuck on this pedestal, and he talks about how, good Chuck is, and like when it comes to the law, but also just for the company. Like, he's always wanted what is best for HHM, and I think for Howard, it was heartbreaking to see that turn where it became about Chuck and it became about Chuck versus Jimmy. Like there were so many things, and Howard had been doing his best to kind of not get stuck in this, but he was getting stuck in the argument between Jimmy and Chuck. And for that bar hearing, things went downhill so fast after hearing, and there wasn't really coming back from that. So I think that Howard's offer was more than fair. Like you said, Chuck just wasn't going to accept that. It was his way or the highway, which I think is something that he very much has in common with Jimmy. When we watch that conversation of Jimmy kind of apologizing.
Yeah.
Not apologizing. So the whole Howard Chuck standoff was incredible to watch. We had slowly seen Howard just not giving a fuck anymore.
Howard was on one these 2 episodes.
Yes. And he finally was like, this is it. This is the end of it. And I don't think at any point anybody could have anticipated what this would lead Chuck to do. Howard cares so much about Chuck.
And this is going to be devastating for everyone.
For everyone. Like, this is going to be really, really bad.
To throw in a point, because my mind is all over the place.
Yeah.
The show also does similarities extremely well. There's so many times where a character who could be very different than another character could be put in a very similar situation and have the same ideas and stuff. I so saw Howard as Jimmy there. Like, Howard was like, how could you do this to me? Like, I've taken care of you. I've supported you. I've done everything I can to coddle you. And the second you get a little bit of pushback, I guess.
Yeah.
Chuck was like, I'm going to sue you. It's like, Howard was like, how could you treat me like this? And it's the same exact thing where Jimmy's like, how could you do this to me? Like, I'm your brother. How could you treat me like this?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, above all else, I think that Chuck really did think that he was better than, he thinks he's better than Jimmy. He thinks he's better than Howard. And he's kind of also, it's not only on Chuck, like he's put in that place by other people as well.
Yeah.
So that's just the dynamic of those relationships. And it was so much easier for him to have control over Howard, but Howard was over it. Like, and Howard, it wasn't personal. Like, Howard wasn't even thinking about it in a personal light. Like, he was thinking what is best for the company.
Yeah.
Like, he is a partner there. They're both partners. Like, they need to be doing what's best for the company. And for Howard, he also has his dad's involvement. His dad's obviously not there practicing.
No, I assume the dad's maybe passed away at this point.
I don't know.
I'm just assuming.
Yeah, I feel like they've discussed him before, but I don't really remember. But I mean, essentially, this is like his legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, Howard's name's on the wall also.
Yeah, I am absolutely shocked by that outcome. How quickly Chuck just spiraled. It was really, really, really sad to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously has that conversation with Jimmy, and it's for sure too little too late. And Chuck doesn't know the extent of what Jimmy did at that insurance office, but Chuck knows that it was caused because of the bar hearing.
Right.
Regardless of who told the insurance company or not, Chuck doesn't even need to know that to blame Jimmy for essentially everything that just happened.
Yeah.
So for him to show up there obviously was a massive mistake for Jimmy to go there.
Yeah, Chuck and Jimmy are just so similar.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them both pull schemes to different degrees of legality, but they both just will not accept any other idea. Like, we've seen Jimmy being told to chill and calm down a little bit by Kim, takes no advice. Jimmy will just do whatever. And it's like, Jimmy, your life could have been so much better if you would have just taken the advice of the people around you. And the same could be said for Chuck. Howard tried numerous times to be like, Chuck, maybe you don't need to be here for this moment and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and then Howard tried to like gently push him out the door and stuff. Like, even that line of like, it was something like, how many people do you need to tell you you're drunk or something like that? But it's like, if Chuck could have taken any sort of advice, he could have chilled, like the doctor's advice to be like, hey, take this recovery slow. Like, let's not just speed into things. Chuck was like, nah, I'm okay. Let's put everything back and I'm going to cook dinner and have music playing and not listen to the doctor at all.
Yeah.
The alternative, if he would have just taken the slightest amount of advice from people around him, he could have slowly kept dominating his recovery, and he could be still attached to HHM or consulting or teaching, writing books or something. Like, he could have had a very promising, healthy future if he just would have listened to a couple of people who had his best intentions in mind. Same exact thing for Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I mean, they are two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Like, they are the same. But yeah, I mean, I'm still shocked. I just can't believe that that's like the demise of Chuck. That spiral was just so sad to watch. Like, I can't get over that, especially with seeing the house like
destroyed.
Well, before that, seeing the house just like lit up and beautiful, and the cooking and the like everything in there was just gorgeous.
This is going to be so devastating. Like, that episode was already extremely sad and devastating, but just to think of the reaction of everyone, because everyone is leaving it off. The doctor thought he was doing better. Yeah. Howard, they were in the house to see how gorgeous and how well he was doing.
Yeah.
And he kept up that facade for everyone. So everyone's going to be like, once they find out that he burned to death in his house, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I just saw him and he was better than ever.
Yeah, I feel like it is worse. Like,
it's worse.
Because everyone did think, like, seeing him, you know, a couple of months ago and everything and how things were going and what happened after the bar hearing, I feel like if something like this had happened then, everyone would have been like, obviously extremely upset still, but there would have been more, I guess, or an easier understanding of it.
Yeah.
Like, understanding of why this happened. But for him to be making such strides in his mental health and then for this to happen, it's gonna be that much harder.
And they're gonna take guilt. Like,
all of them.
Yeah, they're all gonna be like, this was my fault.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, yeah.
I am honestly most worried for Howard.
Yeah, Jimmy's been in this situation before. Not this one, obviously, but like, Jimmy's been the brother and dealt with the back and forth for long enough where he can maybe handle it. Howard, yeah, it is weird to say. I agree with you. Even though Howard's like not related, like, I feel like Howard might take more responsibility that it was his fault.
But also, like, Jimmy doesn't take responsibility for anything. Like, this is...
Yeah, which is crazy, though, because this episode had that moment with Kim.
And the old people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Kim so easily could have put her problems, be like, Jimmy, this is your fault. Like, I was grinding because of you.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, I made the decision to drive. I'm an adult. I can take accountability for my decisions. That spurred Jimmy to do a complete 180 towards the back half of this episode.
So maybe he will. Maybe he will feel guilty. I don't know. I mean, I more so think that Jimmy is going to be devastated by this, but I don't know if he's going to feel the guilt side of it. Whereas I think Howard is going to be both. He's going to be devastated and he's going to feel like this huge sense of guilt.
Yeah. Oh, I just pushed him out the door with my own money to get him out of here.
Yes.
I don't know.
All right. Well, do we want to jump to Kim since you were...
Yeah, we could jump
talked
to
about it
Yeah,
a
we
little
could jump
bit.
to Kim.
I have to say, though, that scene of her driving in the car, the way that was shot was probably one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. To mimic her falling asleep, like that split second of like we don't see, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you see someone like falling asleep or something in a movie, like you see them see them nodding off and falling asleep. Like, we saw it like essentially from her perspective. We're still on the outside, but from her perspective of a minute, and then it's like accident.
Yeah, because like she's driving, she's paying attention, she's reciting, she's not making any mistakes in any of her reciting, and then she kind of zones out for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's not like she like is like, oh, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's falling, and then bang, which I feel like I totally agree. That's such a great representation of, you're probably, I mean, I've never fallen asleep driving, but I assume that experience is like when you do wake up after a crash, you're probably like, what the fuck? Like, I thought I was fine. Like, I was awake and now I'm crashed.
Yeah,
like, there's no transition period.
Exactly.
It just happens.
And we're not watching it as we're watching Kim go through this. Like, we are watching it in Kim's timeline.
Yeah.
So another devastating blow in this show, obviously not to the extent of Chuck, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of repercussions to this. I'm honestly shocked that Kim doesn't have so far. It doesn't seem like she has any resentment towards Jimmy, which I said during the show. I think she has kind of enabled Jimmy a lot throughout the show, and I would have thought that that might have been it. That might have been the thing that pushed her over, as much as this kind of pushed Jimmy into the direction of like giving him a 180. I would have kind of thought the same thing happened for Kim, but she's just such a good person.
She's a good person, and I mean, you can look at a lot of the situations where like we know it's Jimmy's fault, but Kim also is such a good person that she again takes accountability. She's like, she didn't have to take that client. She could have referred it, made less money on, like, I'm sure you make substantially less just referring clients or something like that. But like, she made decisions that led her to this point, and she's an adult, and she'll take accountability for it. Whereas like everyone else doesn't really.
Yeah, no, I mean, she is doing the adult thing in this. It's just like emotionally, it would completely make sense for her to feel that type of resentment that she doesn't feel.
I mean, she did have a 180. It just wasn't towards Jimmy. It was towards the law. She was like, fuck this. I'm watching movies all day long and that's it.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, we kind of had this moment with her on the couch with Francesca, and she also flips a switch there. And I don't know, like, I can't read her. Like, I can't read that where she's going with this. I'm like, okay, like she's taking a break. But then it's like, she was like, no, push everything. Like, I don't care about deadlines. I don't care about anything. And it was like,
more than a break.
Yeah. You didn't say like push it a couple of weeks or, okay, I have this one deadline, but push everything else. It was push everything, clear my books. It's like, are you coming back? Like, what are we doing here?
I have no idea what's going to happen with Kim.
Yeah.
I think for whatever turns all of these characters made, Howard kind of sticking up for himself, Jimmy taking accountability, Kim giving up law, I think all of that gets thrown out the window with the Chuck news. I think that's going to shake everyone up again.
True.
So it's like, I just have no idea what the world is going to look like after this news is revealed.
Yeah.
But right now, these 2 episodes, everyone was doing stuff where I was like, what is going on? So touching on Chuck and Kim, Jimmy, we touched on it a little bit last couple of episodes. We started to feel like he was doing things that didn't feel as necessary as previous actions. A lot of the times, even if Jimmy does something bad, you can justify it if you want because he's in a sticky situation or backed up into a corner, or whoever he's doing it against is an asshole and stuff. But then he started doing things where it was like, how does that really benefit you? $700, was that really all that worth it? Arguable. Fucking with Chuck wasn't worth it. Obviously, we'd see what that turned into, but like, there was no benefit. Nothing was going to come out of this situation positive for Jimmy, but he did it anyways. So we talked about how it felt like we saw Jimmy going down a darker, bad path. And then we come into these episodes where he's like, it's not like he's out on the street. He's not in some dire situation, yet he is willing to just completely obliterate an old lady's life to get money. Obviously, it's $1 million. That's a lot of money, but it felt so dirty.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that, I want to say it's a slow transition, but it really has just been like the last couple of episodes that you're really questioning, like, okay, hold on. Like, we know that Jimmy is not a good person, but like, this is like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't even, like you said, what is the reasoning behind this? So
yeah, it felt like Jimmy was a good person who was doing bad things because he had to.
He was in a tight spot or for whatever other reason.
Yeah, now these past couple episodes, it just feels like Jimmy's a bad person doing bad things.
Yeah, I mean, so we're at the Sandpiper, and he's just totally manipulated these women. I mean, he fully, put in the time. And that's the thing about Jimmy. Every time I'm watching is, I'm like, I watch Kim and I'm watching her hustle and grind and work herself to the bone. And then I look at Jimmy and I'm like, I could say the same thing. Like, he hustles and he's working hard and he's doing all these things, but it's like, for what?
Right.
Like, to what end?
Yeah,
like, what are you doing here? So watching him hustle and, cookie thing and whatever, it's all manipulation, but he still seems like he's like, hustling for an end goal.
Yeah.
But for him to then, similar to kind of what we talked about with Chuck, in the Howard situation. But for him to like go in and he's like, you know, schmoozing with her to get the information on the settlement. He gets the information he needs and he tries to convince her and she doesn't want to do it. And he turns on her, which is so wild. Like, you've built this reputation of wanting to help these people. I mean, I thought that you did want to help these people. It's not like he was making an incredible amount of money off of doing wills and all of those things. So it seemed like those relationships at least were genuine. And obviously, you know, in that line of business, very much feels like word of mouth is huge.
Oh yeah.
So for him to just totally betray her, and like, you're putting this stuff in these ladies' ears. Like, these are old women that don't have like they have the time of day.
Yeah, they have the time to hold a grudge.
Exactly. And they're gonna do it. Like, they're gonna hold that grudge. So I don't know if no, I'm not gonna make an excuse for it. I think that he just really didn't care. I was gonna say, I don't think that he probably realized that he wasn't gonna be able to come back from this, but I don't think he cared.
Yeah, I would say there's a portion of he probably didn't care, or he probably thought like, oh, I'm good enough. I can reverse it and stuff. I think it has more to do with just him not caring and him wanting money.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Howard, that fucking moment where Howard pulled out cash, or it was like, come with a, what was it, tin cup or something like that?
Yes, damn. Howard was like smacked down.
And again, Howard, 100% correct on everything. Like,
yeah, that was a wild conversation.
Yeah, so there were so many highlights in these 2 episodes. But yeah, I mean, to see Jimmy do this, it was like, really, dude? Like, I've defended you. I've been your supporter. I've made so many
enemies in the YouTube comments.
Enemies in the YouTube, who cares? But yeah, it's like, there's always been at least some angle that I can use to justify. Whereas like these last couple episodes, I'm like, dude, who is this? Who am I watching? Because we have seen Jimmy be so great to Kim a lot of times, and we have seen him be the best brother to Chuck. Like, the lengths that he went to care and take care of Chuck, like, we've seen Jimmy be a good person enough times to know that it's in there. I mean, this show starts like episode 1 or 2, him like saving those 2 skateboarder kids from Tuco when he didn't need to. Like, he put his life on the line for 2 strangers.
Yeah.
Like, we know,
I mean, he got him in that situation, but
still, like, we know he's a good person. These last couple episodes, I'm like, dude, are you just not a good person?
Yeah, I mean, like, essentially, if we rewind to the very first episode, would he save those kids right now? I don't think so.
And the current Jimmy?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
it was so hard to watch, but then the show got me, and I'm totally back on the Jimmy train. The show got me with Kim's injury. Jimmy switched back to the good person. I feel like he didn't care about the lease. He didn't care about the law. He went straight to taking care and helping with Kim. He went to apologize. Not really, but at least have some sort of conversation with Chuck and check up on him. Whereas before that situation, he was like, Chuck's dead to me and stuff. Like, Jimmy did a full 180 back to caring about Kim.
Nah, you lost me.
You don't think he did good things at the end of episode 10?
Do I think that he did a couple of good things? Yes.
Like completely crippling his reputation with old people, giving up the $1 million. He didn't get the $1 million. He
didn't give it up. He just isn't getting it now.
He's just not getting it now. But like, he reversed.
But he doesn't need it now.
Oh, because they're giving up on everything?
Yeah, they don't have the office. They don't have...
Yeah, he reversed almost every bad decision he made these couple of episodes.
He 100%, for once, I feel like, was taking some accountability. And he wouldn't admit it, but he was doing the actions to do that. I can say that.
Yeah.
But do I think that he is fully back to the old Jimmy? No.
No, and I said that in the reaction, that I was like, this is not going to last.
Yeah.
I was being a little joking earlier before in my statement.
Yeah.
I know this is not going to last. I know that Jimmy is going to probably have more and more moments similar to these couple of episodes in a negative way than positive. Obviously, that's his trajectory. He will continue to do stuff where I'm like, that was not necessary.
Yeah.
But at least for this moment, he reversed a lot. Like the fact that he worked with that, what was her name? Erin or something like that.
Erin, yeah.
Like, it's not like he even scammed her. Like the fact that he worked with her, again, everything she said was truthful. That's what the show does great. People can say the truth And it's like everyone could say the exact facts and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, she shit all over him and then he knew the damage it would do. And it's awesome and interesting that that's kind of what I feel like sets up Saul Goodman, because the reputation of James McGill is destroyed. And he did that because he hurt an old lady.
Yeah.
And it was more important for Jimmy to help the old lady for the damage that he did than it was to maintain his image or collect a massive payday.
Yeah. Okay.
The stuff that he should have done from the very beginning, like all of this, it's not like a deserving of a pat on the back because it's just him fixing his own mistakes. He shouldn't have done this to the old lady, but he did. At least he reversed it. He should have listened to Kim in the very beginning about cutting expenses.
Yeah.
He was the one who pushed for all of this, which then pushed Kim into the situation she ended up.
Yeah.
100% Jimmy's fault, but at least he has finally gotten to the place to reverse it. There's a lot of like, you should have done this a long time ago and you should have realized how shitty you were being.
Yeah.
So all of that is super valid, but we are at least seeing those moments and those efforts where he's trying to course correct a lot of damage that he's done recently. That's the facts.
I feel like the bar is on the ground.
It is. He just has to accidentally fall over the bar. I'm not saying that. I mean, I said I'm 100% back on Jimmy. I am 100% back on Jimmy.
I know you are.
But I'll give it half an episode before I change directions again.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Because I don't know how we're going to start the next episode in terms of the news with Chuck. So that entire storyline, holy shit. Everything that went on with Kim, with Chuck, with Howard, with Jimmy is absolutely insane. I feel like we need to take a couple minutes to talk about Nacho.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like, did we cover everything? No, barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was, you know, kind of the main parts of the last 2 episodes. But like you said in the intro of this, is there's nothing that's main. It's more just like where is like your mind at in this moment, because there's so much going on in this show. But we got to see kind of the Nacho's dad versus Hector Salamanca. It was hard to watch Nacho because you can tell how scared he was for his dad when he first approaches him at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And all he wants to do is just protect him. And his dad is just so disappointed that he's back in this life.
Yeah.
Clearly, Nacho knew that the second that he said, I don't trust your dad.
That was, danger.
That was it. Like, he was going to get rid of his dad, essentially.
Yeah.
So the timing of everything with, I don't remember what his name is, but the head guy in Mexico.
I don't know. Bolsa is one of them. I forgot.
Yeah, the main guy in Mexico, though. So the like simultaneous happenings of what's going on with his dad in the shop, and for them to decide like, we are doing everything through Gus. I think that was good timing for Nacho because it kind of gives him a little bit of like room, because Hector's not just like the decision maker that's going to be like, no, we're taking over your dad's shop.
Yeah.
Now if Hector were to decide to go through with that, he is essentially like messing with the cartel.
Yeah. I mean, they still said that's his territory. I'm not sure how much kind of freedom he has, but obviously, yeah, he was going to go against the will of the cartel and really didn't give a fuck about it. I mean, he was speaking pretty candidly about like, they come suck me off or whatever.
That was huge. And then he finally gets worked up enough to need those pills. I think the first time we kind of saw it, what was going to happen here, he wasn't worked up enough.
No.
And I think it was more in his head that, you know, let me take this, and like the placebo effect like you talked about. This time it was like a medical emergency that he needed that.
And I think Gus picked up on it the first time.
Yeah.
And then definitely picked it up on it. You know, it didn't touch on it, but Gus is obviously giving eyes to Nacho.
Yes. Yeah. Like Gus knows what's up. I mean, we can talk about Gus for an hour, but Gus is so smart and he's so meticulous, and the way that he pays attention to detail is something else.
You saying that reminds me of like the one and only scene of Mike in these 2 episodes with Mike and Lydia.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
And then Lydia, her like comment of like, oh, you think he's just a drug dealer?
Yeah.
Like, you think that's all Gus is?
Yeah.
No, Gus is the man.
Yeah.
So I think Gus knows what Nacho was up to. maybe he'll help cover it up. We didn't see how successful was Nacho. Did he pick up all the pills? Did he swap them back? Like he handed them back to the paramedic, but was that the correct pills that he gave back? Like we didn't see the full story.
Yeah, no, we have no way of knowing. Was he quick enough to like, you know, switch things out in his pocket? Or, you know, he was so shaky the first time that he did it that I can't really imagine him being fast enough to do that.
Yeah.
But also, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to really test it at the doctor? You know? But obviously we know that he does not die. So they don't really have a reason to run any type of like toxicology, I guess, but maybe they will test to see like what's in his bloodstream so that they know what to give him at the hospital. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out.
I don't know. I feel like it helps that the one messenger for the main cartel guy was there to witness Hector get not only say some negative things, but then get so worked up that, you know, this happened. So maybe because there was more eyes on it happening, that it'll just be more believable that it was just a normal medical issue, not something nefarious that all of a sudden Hector just drops out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true. So to have Gus there, to have that guy, the kind of right-hand man guy.
Yeah, there's a lot more eyes that can corroborate to be like, no, he was very agitated and then his heart gave out.
Yeah.
And the pills were not enough to help him in that moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that was crazy. That was definitely very, very hard. Again, like we have so many characters who could be bad guys or do bad things, but like, you know that they're good people. Like Nacho has tried to kill people before. He's tried to kill Hector. He tried to kill Tuco. We've seen him beat the crap out of people. He's obviously in the world of drugs, but then you see moments with like him and his dad and you're just like, fuck, this sucks. Cause like, this is just a son who like wants nothing bad to happen to his dad.
Yeah.
He's a good person in that scene.
Yeah,
so,
no, I mean, it comes down to how dynamic the writing is on the show and how the characters are on the show.
There's no just like one faced character. If that's even, I don't even know what I'm saying, but every character is multifaceted.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe everything. Maybe
I know.
not.
I hope we covered everything. That was a lot.
There were so many like, oh my God, moments and phrases and conversations. That was the craziest 2 episodes of television I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
What this sets up for the future is unthinkable. Incredible television.
Strongest 2 episodes for sure, I think.
Yeah, we just talked for I think almost 40 minutes. So we talked way too long and I still feel like there's stuff to touch on, but we gotta stop.
Yeah, and I want to get into the next episode even though we have some movies to watch.
So if you'd like to see the full-length reaction for this as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you would like to interact with us on any other types of social media, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, peace everyone.
Bye.
Bye.